Na-na-na.
I like it. We don't actually have that intro anymore, right? We don't do that for tasting notes. It's just our episode intro, right?
It's funny, that was the episode intro, and then when we did February in February, I actually used that as the intro for that. And then because we've only done 3 videos since, I think, and those have all had it kind of in the same way. So I mean, we can discuss this as a creative difference if it's something you don't want to continue with.
No. I like it. I like more how you do it every episode. It's a good opener.
Yeah, it's less good when I'm on a Zoom call with someone.
Yeah.
Wait, no. This was the official.
Wrong venue. Yeah.
Anyway, so we are gathered here today, my friend, because believe it or not, the wonderful people at Sam Adams, who I have a very big affection for their beer, are running this campaign where if you post a picture of your vaccination sticker or anything or something like that, your vaccination sticker or ID with the hashtag shotforsam, then they will send you by Cash App $7 to you for use at your favorite local bar to buy a Sam Adams, which I think that's a pretty incredible campaign, because I was going to get vaccinated anyway, but I mean, if I get a beer out of it, I'm totally down for all of this. So I thought maybe today we should actually go and try a beer that I don't believe in more than 100 episodes we've ever tasted before, which is the original Sam Adams Boston Lager.
You know what? I don't know if we have. The only episode I can think we possibly did it was when Sam Adams purchased, or I guess the Boston Beer Company purchased Dogfish Head.
Yes, but we tried an IPA from them. I can't remember which one it was. Did we? I think we did.
I don't even remember. It's hard to recall. We've done 200 videos. It's hard to remember what episodes we've done and what beers we did in what episode. But I'm actually excited. I like Sam Adams. And funny enough, I have a Sam Adams glass. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to drink out of this today.
Good for you. Well, I've just got you might have noticed me chug something back, because I actually had a tiny bit of rosé in there, which I had forgotten to drink prior to our filming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sam Adams beer. I will tell you, I have my 3 favorite beers, and they are: number 1 is Interchangeable, number 2 is Sam Adams Boston Lager, just the regular Boston Lager, and number 3 is Heineken. But I love Sam Adams Boston Lager because when I first moved to America, it was November 2001. The person who had my old boss, who had basically given me the opportunity to come to America, we went out to dinner that first night at TGI Fridays in Huntington, Long Island. Ironically enough, Tina was working at that same restaurant at the same time. And I was served by her best friend. And I was like, I didn't know whether it was okay. It was 7 o'clock at night. I was like, this is my new boss. Should I be like, I want a beer? And then he said, do you want a beer? So I was like, okay. And I'd always heard these terrible stories about how all American beer was, I think you said it yourself, it was like effing close to water in that joke they did about what's the same as sex in a canoe. But I tried Sam Adams Boston Lager, and it was really, really good. And maybe we can talk about that. But ever since then, just from the fact that it was the first beer I ever had in America, and it was a beer that in many ways it was better than anything I'd had in a British pub. That meant it's always had that fondness, and it's always been my number 2. So there was my diatribe, but interested to hear your
I will say, they make a damn good beer. I have tried several things from them. I've been to their brewery in Boston. That's where I got the glass from. And my sister lives in Boston. And whenever I go visit her, there's a beer. They have a beer. I think it's called Sam Adams Red Ale. There's one Brick Red or something. It's something red. I wish I would have looked this up before we started filming. That you can only get in the Boston area.
That's cool. I like that.
So they don't. I believe they don't bottle it. I think it's only on tap at like local places.
Hmm.
So I actually did like the most Boston touristy thing. I drank that beer at Cheers. So
Is
that
there a
is
real
like
Cheers? Have we had this conversation before? But I don't. There is a real
so
Cheers.
there's a real Cheers. There is a there's two actually. There's one which is Bull and Finch. Bull and Finch Pub was was what they based Cheers on. The interior looks nothing like the interior of what Cheers is. The only thing that they based on is like the going down the steps and then that sign at the top. So that's really there. And Bullfinch was an architect, and I'm 90% sure that Bullfinch, the architect, was somehow connected to Goldfinger, the Bond villain.
Yes, because Goldfinger, the real Goldfinger, was an architect. In fact, that's a real... Whoa, talk about, like...
This is really
circles.
Yeah.
Because I know there was an architect called Goldfinger who threatened to sue Ian Fleming when he published Goldfinger. And so Ian Fleming said... we understand your distress, and so we promise we will amend the situation by including with every single edition of Goldfinger a slip into the book itself which says, due to an error, the name Goldfinger should have been Goldprick. And apparently he dropped the case after that. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but...
Okay, so I would assume Bullfinch and Goldfinger are not actually related then. I somehow was getting this confused.
Wow, we went on a wild tangent there. We
did.
I mean, that was
Bullfinch was from the early 19th century.
Bullfinch is a good name, now you think about it. It's like a finch is a tiny, tiny little bird. And you have a goldfinch because it's golden colour. Maybe you have a boldfinch because it's like a finch that's like... Yes.
No, it's bull, B-U-L, like it's bull... B-U-L-L, Finch.
Right. It's been a wild journey in our Google history. Yeah, here we go. Oh, he's a tubby fellow with a big red crest on his... So, anyway,
yes,
you were saying we haven't got to Cheers yet.
So back to the Cheers reference. So there's Cheers that's it was originally Bull and Finch Tavern, and then there's also there's like a replica bar, like farther in Boston.
Which I mean, to be honest, if it was going down the steps of a brownstone, then it could have been anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you think in New York there are probably a gazillion bars that we've been to that kind of look like that.
I would say so. Yeah. I will say this too. I also had clam chowder there, so that was also another great Boston moment.
I also like just the whole ethos of Sam Adams. Jim Koch, that's his name, isn't it? Or is it Koch?
Jim Koch?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so. It's like K-O-C-H, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it's Koch.
Koch. Because there were... yeah. Anyway, he seems like...
yes.
He seems
the
like...
Koch brothers, is that what you're going to say?
Yes. But Jim Koch sounds like a top bloke, and he, many people call him like the father of the craft beer movement, and it was 1984, I think, that Sam Adams was founded.
Yeah,
and
I think he gets a lot of credit for like. I think they're like they're a macro micro brew at this point, where like they have like a large, like brewing system, but I guess they're still considered a micro brewery. I don't know what the qualifications are.
I could be talking out of my arse here, but I believe that there's something like Sam Adams has a 1% share of the beer market, which sounds like nothing to Miller and Budweiser and stuff like that, but sounds like everything to every other independent craft brewery.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I think Sam Adams' original Boston Lager has been around for so long that people don't appreciate it for what it is. And part of my thing, I have my 3 favorite beers. My third favorite is always Heineken, because wherever in the world you go, you drink Heineken and it will taste the same. And this is this is like a... to me, it's an elevated form of lager. It is Boston Lager, but it's like I drank this, and you can actually taste malt, and you can actually appreciate the hops to a way you can't with Heineken or Stella Artois or anything like that.
I'm going to do the most beer snob thing ever on this episode, and I'm going to disagree with you that it does not taste everywhere. It does not taste the same everywhere in the world, because I have been to their brewery, and it tastes very different out of the tap.
You mean the Sam Adams Brewery? Boston?
Yes.
Yes. Good. I was going to say, you went to Amsterdam and you didn't tell me.
No. I did not go to... I'm not talking about Heineken. I'm talking about Sam Adams, yeah. It's honestly, it is number one. We've always kind of had this, like, can versus bottle debate. The best, and I think this is what you and I always agree on, the best is going to the brewery and drinking it from one of their taps. Truly, that is the best way to enjoy a beer.
I want to do that. I think part of my journey as coming to America, becoming an American citizen, I want to go to the Boston Beer Company brewery and I want to have a Sam Adams Boston Lager, just the same crap that I had the first day I was there, but also that is like, to me, the perfect American beer, and I want to drink it straight from the tap. It's on my list. I'm not going to say bucket list because I might have things after that, but...
Right, yeah. No, this is... It's a standard beer, but it is fantastic. It's good. Boston Beer Company never disappoints, and you can drink this in the summer, you can drink this in the winter, all year round. It's great.
Anyway, and also, yes, I had my first shot of the Moderna vaccine. You've had the first shot of the...
I had Pfizer.
Yeah, I was saying there's this kind of like this Twilight thing now. It's like there's hashtag Team Pfizer and hashtag Team Moderna.
Yeah.
It's like a couple of people who are AZ but...
Yeah. Well, the Johnson & Johnson people are just,
yeah. But I
don't want to brag, but I might be getting a blood clot soon. Honestly, I shouldn't make that joke because there was like 6 people out of 7 million or something. I don't know what the actual statistic was, but it was it was quite small.
Yeah, but I think I really love just the fact that Sam Adams did this, because an episode that we could do by itself was like whether you believe in mandatory vaccinations or not or something, but I know for me, I was going to have the vaccine anyway, but to know that I was going to get a free beer out of it, I was definitely more likely to do it. And I know a few people, I'm sure, who were like, they wouldn't have got the vaccine otherwise, but if they get a free beer out of it, then...
Yeah. I'll say this, I like beer, but if the tipping point for you being like, I'll go get medicine, is like, I'm going to get a beer, I think you need to reevaluate some things. I'm glad to hear you said that. No, because you're not saying that, like, you said multiple times that, like, you would have gotten the vaccine anyway, this is just a bonus, which I agree with, it is. I don't think I hope to God there are not people out there, I'm sorry if I'm offending any of our viewers, who are like, I wasn't going to get the vaccine, but now that Sam Adams is giving me $7, I got to go do it.
Well, it's not what the $7 is. It's what it represents. It represents a beer. It represents a Sam Adams Boston Lager in a glass, and maybe even $1 left over to tip your waitress.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's pretty amazing, actually. And I do have to give Sam Adams a lot of credit, because I think that coming out and saying, like, hey, we'll give this to you. Because the other thing, too, is that, like, they're basically they're getting people to say, like, I went and got vaccinated. And I think that's, like, the biggest thing is, like, just going out there and saying, I did this, I did this and you can too, kind of thing. And I think that is, like, the biggest thing. It's, like, just making sure that people get out there, do their part, contribute in terms of herd immunity. And hopefully we can do an episode. We're going to film this episode together in person, and then I got afraid of the rain, and hopefully we were able to do one together soon.
Yep. No, I think that would be a fantastic idea. And you know what? You just nailed it. I think this isn't about, like, elevating Sam Adams as a brand. They're trying to push viral pictures of people getting vaccinated. Because I don't know about you, I know a few people who say they're not getting vaccinated. And it's kind of like, I might not have posted a picture of my vaccination sticker if I was worried about upsetting them. But then if I was getting a free beer out of it, then screw them. And maybe that's the tipping point. It's not the getting vaccinated or not. It's like whether you post about it and say, like, I got vaccinated.
Right. And obviously, like, if you have concerns about going to get a vaccine, like, talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical professional. You're not a medical professional, but I think that most medical professionals are saying go get this vaccine. So, that's our PSA of the day. Go talk to your doctor about getting vaccinated, and then drink some beer.
Absolutely, great medical advice.
Both of which your doctor will agree with. Yeah.
Right. Until next time. Cheerio.